What's up guys, it's your boy August BTC back again with another video. Today we're going to talk about the portfolio and give you guys a brief update on how we're doing. And today I want to, categorize my thoughts a little bit more and better as well, just for the community. For those that are new, the goal of this channel is basically showing you guys live how I trade Bitcoin or crypto options that involves Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the goal here is to bring my account to $10,000, which is about 164,000 Rand. Okay, full transparency, real trades, real money that's at risk here, guys. No furu or no guru stuffs here. Okay, so let's get into the video. So first things first, let's have a look at Bitcoin and what's going on. Bitcoin is currently seeing a very nice bump, guys. It's up 3% on the day. Ethereum is up 5% on the day, which is really great. We're going to talk about obviously why, we're seeing a very nice pump in Bitcoin. So if we zoom in, you can see a very nice green candle. Well, can't see the color, but you can see a very nice pump on Bitcoin. It's at 64,670. It went really close to getting to 65,000 dollars, but Bitcoin and Ethereum is pumping very nicely. Here's Ethereum as well, seeing a very nice, you can see this candle here, but I like to zoom out. But Ethereum is doing really well. Ethereum went as low as 1,500 and now it's up 1,800, which is really good, really good. So why is Bitcoin and Ethereum pumping? Right, there's a few things and there's a few reasons why Ethereum and Bitcoin is pumping. The first main reason that I want to talk about, guys, is because of the news that came out. So we just got a June CPI inflation data, right? And the CPI fell to 3.5% below expectations of 3.8%. So what is CPI exactly, and why did this basically benefit the price action of Bitcoin, as you can see here? Let me quickly explain. So I have something here for you. So the CPI data came out, guys, and CPI is basically the government's monthly inflation report. It tracks prices on everyday things like food, gas, rent, and the June CPI that came out today fell drastically, right? So this is really good for crypto. Why? Because cooler inflation means less pressure on the Federal Reserve to increase the interest rates. That means cheaper money and more appetite for risk assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So in a nutshell, each time that we see inflation going down, there's a less chance that the Federal Reserve will increase the interest rate. And this is really bullish or really beneficial for Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, let's get into more context. As you can see, this is according to the Polymarket. The odds, it's basically a prediction market. So the odds of the Fed Reserve hiking rates at July 29th meeting, there will be a meeting this month, crashed to 8% after the CPI inflation, came out. Exactly like I was saying, guys, this is really good. So let's get into the Federal Reserve and how they operate basically. So the Fed uses a CPI to decide whether to hike interest rate, cut interest rate, or hold rates. So high interest rates pulls money out of risk assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but lower rates or pause does the opposite. So seeing a drop in the CPI was really good, because now the chances of the Federal Reserve, increasing the rate was really good. It dropped. So this is really good. And like I said, this is really bullish for Ethereum and Bitcoin. And that is exactly why, we saw Bitcoin or Ethereum go up like this. Again, this is really impacting the portfolio because it's obviously increasing my chances of getting close to $10,000. Right. So let's this is the things that I like to look at, the macro news, because this affects the price action of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin doesn't just move randomly. The war with Iran and the USA, geopolitical issues, the Federal Reserve decisions, all these things, impacts the price action of Bitcoin, and that causes volatility. And because of the volatility, that decides where Bitcoin can go. It can go lower, it can go higher, but this was good because it's pumping the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. How is the portfolio doing based on all of this? This is basically how the portfolio is doing, guys. Currently, we are up on the PNL 15%, which is beautiful. I love to see this. So we're up $421 in Rand. That's about close to 7,000 Rand. The maintenance margin is under 50%, so that's a good check. The daily theta that we're getting into the account, that's decaying, the positions, or that's increasing my PNL. We're getting paid about $11 each and every day, which is about 184 Rand that we're getting paid for free, guys, by doing absolutely nothing. Beautiful. So how much premium do we stand to make? Because I love collecting premium. This is how much premium we stand to make. If Bitcoin stays flat like this for the next 44 days, we stand to make, you know, close to $500, which is about 7,500 Rand. Beautiful. So these are the positions that I have open. You know, the biggest winners right now of the position is this perpetual contract. Remember, this perpetual contract is a futures contract that never expires. So I own or hold basically 0.15 Bitcoin, and each time that Bitcoin goes up, you know, I participate in the capital appreciation. So right now, my average entry for this position is 61,000. Bitcoin is up 64,000. And as you can see, I'm up 282% on the position. Why is this percentage so high, you might ask? Because I'm using portfolio margin, which I'll explain in later videos. Portfolio margin means I use very little collateral, right, to be able to control this position. This is a massive position that I'm holding right now. Okay. This is 0.15 of this total amount, because one Bitcoin currently is about 64,600. So basically, for simplicity's sake, 0.1 is about $6,000, and I don't have $6,000 in the account, but I'm controlling that position because of portfolio margin. So Deribit, which is a platform that I'm using, allows portfolio margin and allows me to trade little capital. I just obviously need to have very good strategies, and because of that, I can have these big positions that can pay me a lot of money. So that's why, you know, I can be able to take $1,000 to $10,000, and that is the goal of the channel. Right, so currently I'm up $500 on this position, which is about 8,000 Rand. Beautiful. And I have basically the short calls that are printing or doing well. These are the positions that I have here. Currently, these two positions are under red because I recently opened them because I took profit. Guys, I made $115 yesterday, guys, literally just from the short calls premium. So here's the positions here. I posted it on my X page, right? Here's it live. I locked in $52. This is what I first locked in, right? In the short calls, this is it here. Basically explaining you guys full transparency. Please follow me on my X as well, right? I document my journey there as well, and I'm more active on X because it's, you know, it's I post each and every day. And then I locked in another $63, which brought the total to $115, guys. So here's the positions. Locked in $52, locked in $63 in Rand. That is, let's see, that's for my South African community. Locked in $800. Locked in about $1,000 yesterday. So the total here was about $1,900 that I locked in from the options. So basically what happened? What happened is that yesterday the price of Bitcoin went down, and when the price of Bitcoin goes down, the short calls profit, and then I was able to close a position for profit and then reopen new positions. That is basically called rolling. And I will explain that a little bit later, or maybe in a different video if I don't have time in this video. So if you look at a trade history, that's what I did here, right? So if you look at all these positions starting from here, right? I had a 71 and a 70K short call, and I closed them both for a profit, right? In dollars, I closed this one for $52 in profit, $63 in profit, and then I reopened new positions. I reopened a 68 short call for $102 that I received into the account as a credit premium, and then I opened a 67 and I received this additional profit as well. So that's basically it. Same thing with Ethereum here. Ethereum, the position here is printing some good money, $64. Ethereum is up 6%, guys, which is massive for Ethereum. So here I'm up a little bit, about $1,000, which is not bad. I'm sorry, 1,000 Rand, which is not bad. The short call on Ethereum is getting tested right now because Bitcoin is pumping. And then this is basically a short put which I recently opened on Ethereum, and I took some profit on the short put for Ethereum here. Let's see. Ethereum was, so I was up about 55% on this position, and then I closed it for a profit. Every time that I'm close to 50%, I close it for a profit. So I locked in another $20, which is about, let's see, 300 Rand that I locked in on Ethereum. And then I opened up a new position on Ethereum as well. If you look here, let's see, 1,450, I closed it, and then I opened up 1,550, and they paid me $28 for doing so. Here's the $28 here in premium. So I still stand to make, guys, $456 that I still stand to collect, guys, in the next 44 days. So how's the account looking, guys? The account is looking not too bad, right? On the day I'm flat, the account is really flat, minus 0.35%. We're up 2,800, which is about 46,000 Rand, and the goal is to get this to 10,000, guys. So slowly but steady, we just need to stick to the strategy. What I like here is that we're forming higher highs and higher lows, right? Look, higher highs and higher lows, higher high and higher lows. I just need to get back to the 3,000 level, which we pretty close. So the portfolio just needs to keep doing this, guys, and we need to go back to the previous high levels, guys. So we're getting there, guys, slow and steady. I'm going to get this account to $10,000 and I'm going to show you guys live. One interesting that I wanted to show you guys is a scenario. Okay, why I'm really confident that I'll get there if I stick to the process. Look at this position, guys. Let's take an example with Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is currently sitting at 64,600 and my average entry for this position is 61,000. If Bitcoin, guys, goes back to its all-time high, the all-time high of Bitcoin ever, guys, was here. It was 125,000, right? That was all-time high. So basically, if we go back there from where we are, remember my entry is 61,000, right? If we go back to the all-time high of Bitcoin, guys, that's a 103% move, guys, which is massive. Imagine all the money we can make on here. So let me show you exactly how much we can make. I have a scenario for you. This is it. So currently, guys, we are right here, right? We are right here, right? I have 0.15 Bitcoin, 0.15 Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is currently sitting at 64,600, okay? 64,600 roughly. So if Bitcoin, guys, were to go up to, so currently Bitcoin is sitting at 64,600 and I'm making about $500, which is the same here. Now, if Bitcoin were to go back to its all-time high, guys, which is 125,000, this is basically what I'm going to make. I'm going to make literally $9,000, guys. $9,000, which is about, close to 150,000 Rand, basically, if Bitcoin were to do that, right? That's a 104% movement, like I showed you earlier. Massive, right? Massive, but I'm not even waiting for that, right? So let's go back here. Like I told you guys, we're in a bear market and Bitcoin is below its 200-day moving average. So if Bitcoin were to go back to 73,630, and it happened before, guys. Look, it literally happened in May. Literally happened in May. Bitcoin went to about to 80K. The 200-day moving average was about 200K. So if Bitcoin were to go back again here, which it can definitely happen, this month, tomorrow, who knows? So if Bitcoin were to go back up here, I stand to make, let's see here. So if Bitcoin were to go back to 73,600, that is where the 72,600, yeah. So I stand to make, guys, I can literally make $1,800, guys. $1,800, which is massive, right? So $1,800 multiplied by 16, which is exchange rate. So I can literally make close to 30,000 Rand on one position. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. Really nice. So that's basically how I'm building the portfolio, right? All I just have to do is to be patient, right? Bitcoin goes up, this position print for me. Bitcoin goes down, these short calls print for me, right? And Bitcoin crashes, this position, which I call a bull. It's a bull put spread position. It basically caps my loss. I'm going to explain it a little bit more detail in another video. But yes, here's a portfolio, guys. I hope you guys like the content and I hope you guys like this format. And I'll be explaining a little bit more, terminology as well to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. But currently we're doing okay. Portfolio is forming higher high and higher lows. We're going to get to $10,000 very soon. If you guys like the content, drop a like, drop a follow. Follow me on X as well, guys. Ask me any questions. I'll definitely answer you guys. And I will see you guys on the next one.